On your next inhale, I want you to sit a little bit taller. Expand that breath a little deeper before exhaling. Relaxing your eyes if they are not already. I want you to keep your eyes relaxed and bring those hands behind your back, linking your fingers together. From here, I just want you to open your chest, pull those shoulders back, open your chin away from your chest. Unlinking your fingers, go ahead and bring it back to center. Roll out those shoulders. Taking those feet out in front of you. We're going to place our hands behind us for support. I turned so you could see me better. You're welcome to stay where you're at. We're going to take that right leg and cross it over our left. Our left leg is welcome to stay extended or tuck into our body, bringing that left arm across to look over your right shoulder. I really want you to drive that elbow into your right leg, your right knee. Feel that stretch through your back on your left side. Avoiding sinking into this stretch, sitting tall. Gently rotating back to the center, placing that hand behind you for support as you extend that back leg or that left leg if it is not already. We're going to open up the inside of that right leg, sliding that left foot into your figure four. Your bottom can go as close to your foot as you feel comfortable going. I'm a little more sore today, so I'm not going to go quite as far. You listen to your body. Let's take that left foot, extend out in front of you. Uncross your right, shake it out. Same thing on the other side, taking that left leg, crossing it over your right. Optional is to hug that right leg into your body. Taking your right arm to look over that left shoulder, really driving that elbow into your knee. Let's rotate back to the center. Untucking that right leg, opening up the inside of that left knee. Sliding your right foot flat on the floor into that seated figure four. Again, your bottom can go as close to that foot as you feel comfortable. Today may not be the same as last week. That's okay. Extending that right leg out in front of you. Go ahead and uncross your your left leg. We're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna release down to the floor right away today, leaning back. Don't worry, we will bring it back up. I just wanna stretch out our back, stretch out our shoulders. So bringing those arms overhead. If you can place those hands on the floor without your low back hyperextending, so a natural arch is okay, but hyperextension, I want you to modify by placing your wrists on an elevated source, so maybe a yoga block, maybe a foam roller, whatever you have laying around. If those wrists are able to release down to the floor without hyperextension, and you feel like you can take this a little further, go ahead and extend those heels out in front of you. For some of you, this may be easy. For some of you, this may be challenging. We're really trying to release that tension in our lat or our upper back muscles. As you bring those arms down to your side, you're going to make a reverse snow angel. You're going to hug your knees into your chest, into your tight ball. I want you to just roll your low back out onto your mat. Start to draw small circles. Make sure you draw those circles in both directions. Placing those hands very gently right below your knees on your shins. Let's start to draw figure eights with our knees, opening those hips. Take your time with these. Going in both directions. Bringing those knees back to center. Okay, so here, we're gonna start to roll forward and back. So if you can bring your head off the floor, we're gonna start there. Maybe eventually sitting yourself up. If you're not quite there and you need to press yourself up with your hands, feel free to do so. And bringing it into that full roll. Roll, bringing those feet back, rolling out on your back, and sitting it back up. Doing that a few more times. Once you finish your last roll, let's go ahead and scoot those feet behind us into our tabletops. Take your time here. Knees in line with your hips. Shoulders and wrists are aligned. We're gonna bring this into a shoulder movement here. So rather than doing a cat-cow, we're gonna sink and squeeze our shoulder blades together and push away from the floor. Notice how my spine is not doing the movement. My head is not doing the movement. It's coming from my shoulder blades, my rotator cuff. Your serratus anterior is the muscle that is doing the work. It's that muscle that's connected to your rib cage and goes back connects to that rotator cuff. You can take this a step further by stepping into a full plank. Go ahead and complete your last one. Gently release to those knees if they are not already, and sit back on your heels. Keep those arms reaching forward. Feel free to roll out your wrists if you need to give them a little bit of a break. When you are ready, shifting your weight back into that tabletops, tucking our toes under so that we can lift up and back into that downward dog. Feel free to pedal out through your feet as we get warmed up here. Shifting your weight from one side to the other. Alternate pedaling through the feet. Bringing those hips back to center. Bringing your gaze up to your hands so that you can hop or step those feet. Tucking your knees into your chest, rolling slowly into our standing. Head is last to come up. Big inhale here at the top. As you exhale, I want you to push those hips behind you, lengthen through the spine as you swan dive back into that forward fold. Placing your hands either on your elevation, whichever, if you have a yoga block, great. If not, maybe a book, a pot, or a pan. Keeping your right foot forward, our left foot is gonna step back for your runner's lunge. We're gonna keep our knee in line with our ankle with that front foot. Our heel is parallel with our front heel. We're not letting our heel rotate in. From here, we're gonna take our hands away and lift into that high lunge. Arms are by our ears, but our shoulders are relaxed. Rolling or tucking those hips under. Placing those hands on the inside of that front foot, gently releasing your knee behind you. Take your time, make those hips or allow your hips to sink deeper into this stretch. We're gonna tuck that toe under again, lifting that knee off the floor. This time we're gonna windmill into our warrior two. So feel free to peek at the screen, rotate that heel, open those hips, windmill those arms into warrior two. Inhale, lift and extend through that front leg, arms go overhead. Exhale, releasing that right hand down either to your leg or to the floor for your triangle. Left arm reaches tall. If your shoulder is dropping, your chest is dropping, go ahead and modify that position. Tucking our right knee into our shoulder as we shift our weight slightly forward. We're gonna place that left hand on the floor. As you do that, you're lifting and rotating your heel back into your runner's lunge. Awesome job, everyone. Let's step back into our plank position. Allow those knees to relax and sit back on your heels for child's pose. Rocking your hips side to side. Finding your breath. Let's start to begin that sequence on the other side, shifting our weight into our tabletops. Tucking our toes under, lifting those knees up and hips back for our downward dog. Bringing our gaze up to our hands so that we can hop or step those feet forward. Tucking our knees into our chest as we roll slowly into our standing. Head is always last to come up. Big inhale here at the top. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, pushing your hips behind you. Left leg will stay forward as our right foot steps back for our runner's lunge. We want our feet to be in line with our hips so they are not one directly behind the other. Eventually taking those hands away and lifting into that high lunge. Remember to roll your hips under here. Let's take those hands, placing them on the inside of that front foot, gently releasing that knee behind you. Take a few moments to let those hips open, sink a little deeper. Allowing our toes to tuck under behind us, lifting back into that runner's lunge. We're gonna allow our heel to release as we windmill into our warrior two. Inhale, extend and lift. Exhale, open. We're gonna release, that left hand either to your leg or to the floor for your triangle. Remember, we want that top arms be lifting tall. Tucking our knee into our shoulder. As we place that right hand down, lifting and rotating our heel behind us. Stepping back into our plank position. From here, we're gonna release down to the floor, so feel free to modify onto your knees. Exhale, elbows stay close to your body. Inhale, lift into the cobra of your choice. Maybe you're on your forearms. Maybe you're on your hands. Either way, you want those shoulders to stay strong and push down to the floor. Exhale, release, elbows stay close to your body. Inhale, press up through tabletops, sitting back into child's pose. Let's take those hands below our shoulders, using them to press yourself up onto your knees. I'm going to move forward a little bit. Knees are in line with your hips here. We're going to take those hands, placing them on your low back. Fingers are facing down, opening your chest, pulling those shoulders back, lifting through the chin. Let's just start here. Notice those your hands are on your lower back for support. If this is providing too much pain on your lower back, roll your hips under. So right now we're pushing our hips forward, getting ready for that camel. If this is too much for you, tuck your hips under this way. Protect that low back. If you want to bring it and open with me for that camel, let's bring that gaze behind us, opening that chin. Maybe eventually reaching for your ankles one at a time. Using your hands on your low back for support before raising yourself back up. Lifting through the chin, sitting back on your heels for child's pose. You have one more chance to try that again. Take your time, rock your hips, maybe walk your hands side to side. When you're ready, let's bring those hands back down for support, using them to press ourselves back onto our knees. We're gonna try that one more time. Hands on your low back for support, pulling your shoulders back, opening your chest. Let's start here. Gaze starts to lift to the ceiling. Maybe it's reaching behind you just a little bit. Maybe your hips are pressing forward, eventually reaching for your ankles. Using your hands on your low back for support to raise yourself back up, slow and controlled, and sitting back on your heels for child's pose one more time. Go ahead and take those hands below our shoulders. Scoop back onto our bottoms. Bring our feet forward. And we're gonna release down to our mats, just like we did earlier. Keeping those feet flat on the floor. We're gonna allow the insides of our feet to connect, opening up the insides of our thighs. We want gravity to do its job. Let gravity pull those knees down. If this is providing too much pain or discomfort, go ahead and slide your feet out into more of a diamond. So bring them out a few inches. Relax your eyes. One knee at a time, we're gonna bring those knees back up, feet flat on the floor, hugging one knee into our chest, and sliding your opposite heel out in front of you. Let's allow that knee to cross over our body, allowing that hip to release, opening your arm out to the side so you have a spinal twist with a chest, opening your chest. Taking your time, let's roll back to center, bringing those hips back to the floor. You're welcome to stay here with that knee tucked in. If you want to take this a little further, extending that leg, using your hands to wrap around your leg, just try to avoid your knee. So either from your thigh, maybe some of you are reaching for your calf. Allowing that leg to open out to the side without letting either hip release from your mat. Let's bring that leg back to center. Hug that knee back into our chest. Place your foot on the floor. Let's go ahead and switch sides, starting with our knee hugged in, allowing your heel to release or slide out in front of you. Crossing your knee over your body and opening your chest. Slowly rolling onto both hips, bringing that knee back to center. Optional, extending that leg. Allowing our leg to open to the side without letting either hip release from your mat. Bringing our leg back to center, tucking our knee into our chest, placing your foot on the floor, and sliding your heel out in front of you. I want you to find your comfortable position. Hands are to the side. Relaxing your eyes. Allowing any tension in your shoulders, your jaw, or even your hips. Let go of all of it. Let's continue to deepen our breath, exaggerate the movement through your chest. eyes relax. Let's start to bring little movement through our body. Your fingers and your toes, your elbows and your knees, your shoulders and your hips. Take your time to slide your feet flat to the floor. Rocking your hips side to side. Taking your time to pick which side to roll over to, allowing your hip and shoulder to follow. Opening your eyes when you're ready. And pressing yourself back into your comfortable seated position we started in. Go ahead and roll your neck side to side. Bringing your chin back to center and lifting back to neutral. Finishing with our deep breaths, inhaling overhead. Exhale to your side. Inhale, reach and lift. And exhale. One more time, connecting your hands to prayer. Exhale your hands to heart. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, everyone. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. This was recorded, so I will get this posted as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.